Well guys, last night we got the SideKick to fire up, but unfortunately Mike is leaving us today because he has to get home to get his cars running for the event.
Yeah.
So it looks like me and Wyatt will be buttoning this up on our own, but luckily we had him here for his Dorito expertise.
We already set a base map and everything, so pretty much it's gonna be like right there.
Yeah, so now all we gotta do is get that turbo kit done and button up a whole bunch of little things.
Shifter cable, turbo kit, the wastegate, and the intercooler piping.
And go take her on the street and make sure it makes some boost and doesn't blow up.
Taco Bell run first. I feel like you should take a Taco Bell before we go to Burnout.
I'm gonna go get some Dorito Locos Tacos in my Dorito powered SideKick.
They're not gonna hear it.
Hey, but thanks for your help, man. Last night was awesome.
Sweet.
Got her fired up. And
we'll see you at Bristol.
Yeah, see you there.
And make sure to buy tickets and go to it.
Baldeagle.com.
Yeah.
Come see your boys. All right, guys, we just got the turbo in for the SideKick here. Unfortunately, Mike had to take off, but we got a lot of work to do, so not much time to talk, but figure we'd show you guys what we got here. So this is a pretty big spoolie boy for the SideKick. This is a 6673, has a T4 housing. This puppy should be good for well over 600 horsepower. I don't know if we're ever gonna see that in the SideKick. A rotary needs like a way bigger turbo than a piston engine. They move a lot of air, so like 1,000 horsepower turbo on a piston engine might only actually make like 700 on a rotary. So for most rotaries, you gotta step it up on the turbo. So we went pretty big here. And yeah, we gotta go ahead and get to mocking this guy up. We got a turbo kit to knock out. We don't have much time, so we're just gonna get right into it, boys. Well, there she is. So right now, Wyatt's working on some things to get the cooling system done. And while he's doing that, I am working on finishing up the turbo manifold. And if you look right here, I got quite the contraption going on. So I'm using the engine support bar that we picked up from Harbor Freight to kind of hold the turbo in place. So I just got a bolt going into the feed there, kind of have it hanging from this chain, got a Boosted Boys lanyard, kind of holding it clocked where I want it to be. And it is just hovering in place there, and I'm really happy with how that looks. That's about where we want it to go. And after looking at the manifold, it looks like this is going to need to be cut back almost all the way to this first runner, so then we can have a 90 come off of that, and then we'll have to add a little bit more off of that guy to attach it to the T4 flange that I have bolted on right there. And then we will be good to go. So I have a couple pieces to get figured out, but that is about where the turbo is going to sit. Gives us plenty of room to run the exhaust. We'll just have to angle it slightly, go down and out, but it's looking pretty good right there, guys. Really happy with that. That is a pretty big boy for the SideKick here. Thing's definitely gonna make plenty of power for us, but let's go ahead and get that turbo manifold knocked out. All right, guys, check it out. Got the turbo manifold all done for the SideKick here. Got the 60mm wastegate on there. This thing came out pretty freaking sweet. So Wyatt got the front section done there, and then while he's been working on the coolant stuff over there, finished the rest of it up. Got the turbo where we want it. We're good to go ahead and throw this guy on. It should be good to stay on there permanently from this point forward, and then we can get the turbo bolted on, start mocking up our feed and return lines, and just keep going from there. We also have some exhaust tubing coming in today, so hopefully we can maybe get started on running an exhaust down and out of this thing. And Wyatt's had to modify a whole bunch on this housing here. So there was a piece that went here that we just completely deleted, and he made a new fitting to go onto that guy. There was a little coolant neck that came off of this that he's just lopping off and welding a new tube onto.
Yeah, trying to get coolant hoses in the right places, because on the factory rotary stuff, they're just nowhere near where we need them to be. So just modifying them to where we need them and get that knocked out.
Yeah,
so.
It sucks we couldn't use that aluminum radiator, because then we could have modified the radiator as needed, welded some new bungs on there, because these are only 1-inch outlets here on this radiator. It would have been really nice to go to a bigger size. We're hoping cooling won't be an issue on this thing, but we're working with what we got here, guys. Also, Wyatt installed a really big cooling fan on the front of the radiator. That's done. The front end of the SideKick is back together here. So she's starting to look complete, and it's starting to come together. But let's go ahead and try to get this turbo kit all finished up. Well, check it out, guys. We got the turbo on there, and that thing looks so freaking sick.
Getting so close, man.
Dude, look at this thing from back here.
It's wild.
Got the compressor wheel just peeking out of the engine bay there. It looks so good. Wyatt's been working on the coolant lines, as we just showed.
Yep,
and he got them done. So that is the upper line right there full of coolant, and the lower one is done, ready to go. Manifold is on there with the gate. We got the V-band on there. We still have to come off that guy for an exhaust. The oil drain is done. We're just waiting on a fitting, which just got here to do the feed, and then that will be done. Right now I'm mocking up the intercooler piping. So we just got this 45 coming off of that Gretty elbow into a 90, and then a 90 right off the turbo, and I just cut this piece. Check that out. That guy will just weld in place right there, and we're just going straight from turbo into the Dorito box.
True rotary fashion, we are told. No blow-off valve, no intercooler, just let her sing.
And that's what Mike said.
So
Said just let it go right in there.
Eventually we'll do an intercooler at least for cruising it, but I guess for the burnout stuff, not needed. So
yeah, he said it's unloaded and don't got to worry about it. For street driving, we want to get an intercooler.
So
I mean,
we're going off their word. They've done it, so
I trust him though, because that freaking
the
truck
Riku and the Mystery Machine both don't have one.
They got the compressor housing glowing,
Yeah.
or the they got the exhaust housing glowing on that freaking truck,
cherry, so
and they don't blow up.
Yeah.
So if he's saying it's good, then we're good to go.
Take his word for it.
Straight pipe right in there, no blow off valve, no nothing. She'll be making boost, ready to go. Just got to get the alternator back on as well, and then a couple small things, boys, but it is right there. She is coming together. Dude, that turbo looks so good. I love the placement of that.
Yeah, it looks sweet. All right, get her back buttoned up and fire it up. I want to hear it with the turbo on it.
Same. The SideKick is starting to look closer and closer to being complete here, guys. Just got the charge pipe on there. None of our clamps are tight just yet, because there's a couple more things we have to do underneath there. We do not have an exhaust yet, but the oil lines to the turbo are done. Everything's tightened down. Like we said, the coolant lines are done, ready to go. And there's no reason why we can't give her a test fire here. So we're gonna go ahead and fire it up for the first time on the turbo while it's under there, putting her into park. And we still have to get the shifter hooked up for the transmission. That's one of the final things before we can drive it. But we're excited to see how she sounds with her new turbo here. Well, she runs on the turbo. It's
Sounds
just as
good,
loud.
Dude. Yep. Freaking A.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Oh, yeah.
It almost wanted to idle right there. I was off of it for a second. So
Do we still need to play with the idle a little bit?
yeah, we just need to up the idle screw a little bit, Mike was saying, and then he was giving me some settings to plug into the computer to get it to idle. So it was actually seems a little bit more responsive. We just can't let it idle too long right now because the transmission fluid's pretty low. So
Yep. And we still got to put coolant in it.
And coolant. So, but yeah, just wanted to hear it with the turbo on there. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
she
really
was
loud.
spinning.
Yep.
Turbo was spooling, boys. But dude, it's come so far. It looks so sick. Remember when you first picked this thing up?
Yep.
It's been like over a year for sure. We're finally getting to it.
Yeah. I remember we were so pumped. Towed the jet skis to the dock like the day we got it.
Yeah, dude, this thing was towing the jet skis everywhere.
Yeah.
And then freaking Hayden had to come and break the transmission on us.
Yep. And he'd say it wasn't his fault, but he was the one driving it when it broke. So
All right, guys, we've been working under the SideKick here for the last few hours, but we're just about buttoned up. Wyatt was working on getting these coolers mounted. I was working on getting the lines ran to the trans cooler. I got the lines ran to the oil cooler. Those lines going to the tranny freaking sucked. We had to get everything wired up for the fans, and we also had to make a shifter work for the shifter that the Vargas brothers dropped off. I feel like right here we just rigged up some stuff, some Booster Boys engineering at the finest right here. So got this tab welded on to the existing shift selector deal right here, bent a tab, got the cable in that guy. It's all good to go. We tested it. We had to, I'm really tired. We had to take the shifter completely apart because it has like the lockouts in it. And
it's a gated shifter,
yeah,
and it's not for this transmission.
And long story short, we had to take it all the way apart, and now it's just a lever, but the detents in here work pretty good, so you can feel when it's clicking into each gear, so don't think it should be an issue. We got the shifter kind of mounted up in the car for right now. And what else did we do under here? I felt like we were under here for a minute. We did a lot.
Mainly just the coolers and stuff. That took forever.
And then we got the front brakes bled.
Yep.
Rear brakes are disconnected. I don't know if you showed this. Got this little fitting in there and capped that guy off, so there are no rear brakes for the burnouts. But obviously after we get back, we'll hook the rear brakes back up because that'd be sketchy to drive it without them. But I think that's about it. I know, yeah, the shifter took some time in getting those coolers mounted, but she's all done up under here. Drive shafts in, fuel lines, everything's done. So now we can go ahead and lower her down, and I think we're about ready to fire it up and try to click it into gear.
Yeah.
Back this thing out.
Just gotta fill it with trans fluid. We can fill it with
But
coolant.
we also had to redo the gasket on the transmission. I had to run to the parts store, do that.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff. But she's good now, boys.
Yeah. She's very, very close to being complete.
Yep. Well, let's get it down and finish all those things up. Maybe we can back it out of the shop.
Yeah. We need to do exhaust still.
Oh yeah, make a quick little up pipe or something, just
Yep.
temporary. Yeah, we were supposed to get a whole bunch of exhaust stuff in today from Amazon, and you know, Amazon's usually on point, but of course our package got delayed. So we're gonna have to find some other exhaust components to get that done, but we'll figure that out tomorrow. We still got a day to get her buttoned up here.
Moment of truth, my guy.
Dude, about to pull out the SideKick for the first time, got to lower back down. We also went ahead and made a quick little up pipe for this thing, just so the exhaust isn't blowing directly at this wiring harness down there. So very temporary, just tacked together for now.
Can we just take a second to appreciate this view right here?
Dude, it looks so good. The turbo
It's
just
so perfect.
peeking out of the hood right here. Dude, I am so excited for the SideKick. It just looks like it was meant to be.
For real,
It
man.
looks like it came factory like this,
It
honestly.
fits perfect.
It looks so good.
Nice.
But let's go ahead and fire up the Dorito box here and back it out. We still got to put some water in it, and this will be the first time it's ever moved under its own power. So, like I said, don't stand clear. The brakes aren't, you know, tested yet, so I don't want to run anyone over. But I think we're good. Well guys, we made it about 1 foot back and I heard a gurgle and a splash, and there's a puddle of ATF on the ground, so gotta go back up, see what happened.
This is what I get for mentioning it. I said if anything holds us back, it will be this transmission.
It's literally like a shower.
Side. Bro, where in the
That's what happened the first time.
Really? That's a lot.
But it,
Stop. No, it's coming out of that gasket.
Yeah.
It's just filling up that pocket.
I saw a little verbal.
Do it again. Yep. It's coming out of that pocket.
Well guys, we were supposed to be done probably like 2 hours ago. Honestly, we were supposed to be done yesterday, but this is where we're at. It's 10 p.m. We have another pile of ATF on the ground. And after some diagnosing, it turns out that there is a seal right here. This is like a reverse servo deal, automatic terminology. This was missing a bolt, that top right bolt that we now have in it, but the seal was already blown out. and it's too late. So we have to take that guy off, get a new gasket on there, and hope for the best. But yeah, we have a lot of ATF that has been spilling out of this thing. This was the O-ring from the deal.
That's like a square, like a seal O-ring. You know, like it's a square deal.
Square deal.
Yeah, so it's like made to seal against the machined surface, where that's just like a chamfered edge where a circular O-ring should be.
Yeah.
So I don't think this was supposed to be in there in the first place. But yeah.
I think we got it though.
It's fixed. Now we just got to fill it back up with a couple quarts. Now, do our first maiden voyage out the door to fill it with water. Only slightly delayed by 3 hours. Yay.
You're gonna have that sometimes, guys.
On them big jobs.
Oh yeah. Another late night working on the SideKick. We are praying to the Dorito gods to just keep all of the ATF in the transmission here because I'm tired of it. Our hands are slimy. The shop floor, I think, is permanently damaged. There's no cleaning it, dude. We got it everywhere. But we did our best. Got a new O-ring in there. Let's try to back it out. Well, looks like we are calling it a night. It is near midnight once again, and we just pushed the SideKick back in because it's pretty late. We don't want to wake up the neighbors, and those braps are pretty loud. We got her topped off with water. We have no more leaks, it looks like. Our reverse gear works. We have not yet tested the forward gears, though.
That's tomorrow's job, buddy.
We were supposed to take her on her first test drive by, like, early this afternoon. Like, yeah, honestly, yesterday, but we've just had a couple setbacks. But, you know, tomorrow's our last day to get ready for Bristol. This has to be on the trailer by tomorrow night, and then we leave the day after that. So I'm still pretty hopeful. I mean, just look at it. It does look pretty sick with that little turbo peeking out of there. That's gonna do it for tonight, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed the SideKick build here. It's a little rushed as we have been slapping it together for this event, but it's coming out really good, guys. When it's all buttoned up and figured out,
It's looking sick. Fast, but nothing's actually really been like hacked together on it. Like everything's
we're taking our time and making sure everything's right. So.
Yeah. Like nothing on this.
For the most part.
Other builds, nothing needs redone on it, other than the converter and transmission setup.
And the fluid back into it that it leaked out all over our floor. But
otherwise, everything else is good to go.
Other than that, dude, she's coming along. So hope you guys enjoyed. We'll pick up tomorrow, and regardless, we'll see you at Bristol. Thanks for watching. I'm tired.
Yeah. Bye.